You probably don't think twice about the ring on your hand. Maybe it was a gift, a keepsake, or something you just liked at the store. But what if the ring you wear every day isn't just decoration? What if, without realizing it, you've been carrying something that quietly shapes your mood, your money, and the energy around you? In the same way we know clutter can stress us out, or certain clothes make us feel confident, the jewelry we wear, especially rings, can subtly affect how we move through life. Not in a mystical, far-fetched way, but through a very real interaction between intention, design, and how our body responds. Your hands are constantly in motion. They greet people. They exchange money. They sign contracts, so it makes sense that what you wear on them matters more than we usually admit. Some rings pull your energy inward, helping you stay calm or focused. Others amplify action, drive, and opportunity. But some, without you knowing, can feel heavy, sharp, or emotionally off. And that might be why things feel stuck, off balance, or more chaotic than they need to be. This isn't about superstition. It's about learning how to be more intentional with something you already use. In this video, we'll explore how to choose a ring that aligns with the kind of life you're building, from wealth and peace to clarity and strength. And more importantly, we'll talk about the kinds of rings that may be quietly working against you. You don't need to believe in magic. You just need to notice when something that once felt neutral starts feeling like it's not on your side anymore. And the ring you wear might be a good place to start. Part 1: The hidden cost of wearing the wrong ring. You may not remember when you started wearing that ring. It might have been a gift, something you bought during a vacation, or a piece that's been with you so long it feels like part of your skin. But let me ask you something. Have you ever had a stretch of time where everything felt just slightly off, like you couldn't focus? Work felt stagnant. Conversations felt tense. You were doing everything right on paper, yet something small and unseen seemed to be pulling you back. When we feel stuck, we often look outward, at our finances, our calendar, our diet. But rarely do we look down at our own hands, and yet we carry so much there. Our gestures, our energy, the way we move through the world, it all starts with our hands. That's why it matters what you place on them, especially something that presses into your skin day after day, hour after hour. A ring may look still, but it's in motion with you. It absorbs your warmth, your moods, and yes, your energy. Some rings anchor us, some throw us off without warning, and many of us are unknowingly wearing the wrong kind. Now, wrong doesn't mean ugly or cheap. It means mismatched. It means the shape, weight, material, or even the finger it sits on isn't working with who you are right now, or who you're trying to become. A sharp-edged ring might look bold, but it can agitate your energy field. A heavy gemstone might seem powerful, but on the wrong hand or in the wrong season of life, it can drain your focus instead of fueling it. And sometimes the ring just doesn't feel right anymore, though we can't explain why. So we keep wearing it out of habit, not realizing it might be echoing a version of us that's no longer true. That ring you once loved when you were building your career, it might now hold the energy of constant pressure, of proving, of never resting. That family ring passed down with love. If it hasn't been cleansed, it may carry more than just memory. It may carry sadness or even someone else's unresolved story. In cultures around the world, hands are considered sacred. They are the place where energy enters and leaves the body. Each finger is said to relate to a different life area: direction, discipline, love, communication. Whether or not you follow these beliefs, it's easy to notice how we use our hands to express exactly what we can't always say. We clench them when stressed. We reach with them when we're hopeful. We rest them gently when we feel safe. So when a ring sits on a finger every day, it does more than decorate, it participates. It becomes part of that energy conversation. If it's too tight, too sharp, too cold, or if it simply holds an emotion that no longer matches your current life, it creates tension. And tension left unchecked becomes fatigue, distracted thinking, missed opportunities, worn-down patience. The cost of wearing the wrong ring isn't dramatic, it's subtle. That's why it's so easy to overlook. It shows up in the mornings when you feel a little heavier even after sleep. It appears in your conversations when your words land off-key or your tone feels harder than you meant. It lingers in those small financial decisions that don't go your way, not disastrous, just off. And then it builds. Most people don't talk about this. Jewelry is sold as beauty, status, sparkle, but no one teaches you how to sense what something is doing to your field of energy. We're taught how to match metals to outfits, but not how to match meaning to the season of life we're in. You wouldn't wear a heavy winter coat in spring, yet we wear rings long past their energetic purpose. And the longer we do, the more we feel misaligned, without knowing why. But here's the truth. Your body knows, your hands know, you just haven't been taught to listen. So if you felt stuck lately, not in a big, dramatic way, but in that quiet, why does everything feel a little harder way, start with the ring. Hold it, feel it. Ask yourself, do I still want to carry what this ring was tied to? Does it represent who I am now or who I was then? Does it help me center or does it leave me tired? If the answers are unclear, that's already an answer. You've shifted. Your energy has moved forward. It's okay to let your ring evolve with you. This is not about throwing everything away. It's about being intentional. It's about creating space for energy to serve you, not confuse you. Later in this video, we'll explore how to choose a ring that supports where you are today. We'll talk about simple, beautiful options that invite in prosperity and peace. Not by magic, but by resonance. But before we add anything new, we must pause and clear what's been working against us, quietly, subtly, for far too long. Your hands have done a lot for you. They deserve a ring that works just as hard, just as gently. The right ring doesn't overpower, it aligns. And that might be the beginning of everything feeling a little easier again. Not louder, not faster, just smoother. Part 2: 3 simple rings that quietly attract prosperity. There are moments in life when you don't need more noise, more effort, or more chasing. What you need is alignment. A small, quiet shift in the right direction. That's what the right ring can offer, not a miracle, not a transformation overnight, but a soft course correction that brings your energy closer to what you're actually asking for. When we talk about attracting prosperity, we often imagine big changes, new jobs, new ventures, dramatic financial strategies. But sometimes it starts smaller than that. Sometimes it starts with a piece of jewelry that reminds your body, your mind, and your habits to stay on track with what matters most. There are 3 types of rings that, when worn intentionally and chosen with care, can serve as silent allies on your path to wealth. Not flashy wealth, but the kind that feels rooted, stable, and earned. The kind that brings both progress and peace. The first is a small gemstone ring. Not oversized, not loud, just quietly powerful. Gemstones aren't just beautiful, they are formed under pressure over time deep within the earth. That alone makes them symbols of resilience and potential, but different stones resonate with different qualities. Ruby, with its deep red hue, is associated with action, momentum, and fire. It's a ring for people who feel like they are on the edge of something new. A business idea, a big decision, a desire to finally stop holding back. Ruby doesn't make you impulsive. It gives you the quiet courage to act with clarity. If your life feels too paused, too hesitant, Ruby is like a nudge from the universe to move forward. Sapphire, in contrast, is deep blue, cool, and calming. It's for people who are dealing with stress, emotional pressure, or too much noise. Sapphire doesn't push, it steadies. It brings peace to conversations, quiet to the mind, and helps you see through chaos without losing your voice. If you're trying to protect your energy while staying open to abundance, this is the stone to wear. And then there's amethyst, the soft, violet stone that so many overlook. It's not bold. It doesn't sparkle the loudest. But amethyst is a filter. It calms your nervous system. It helps you sense what's aligned and what's not. It deepens your intuition. When you're unsure where to invest your time, your money, or your attention, this is the stone that reminds you. Stillness is a strategy too. The right gemstone ring doesn't just sit on your finger. It whispers reminders throughout your day. It's not the stone alone that holds power. It's your reason for wearing it. The second type is a simple gold band. No gemstone, no ornament, just gold, warm, clean, and complete. Gold has long symbolized wealth, but not because it sparkles, because it lasts, because it endures. A plain gold ring speaks of clarity, of maturity, of knowing what you want and no longer needing to shout for it. It's especially powerful for those who want stability, not just in money, but in thought, mood, and action. Gold brings a certain decisiveness. When worn on the left hand, it's said to support the flow of income, opportunity, and external success. When worn on the right hand, it helps guard what you've already built, savings, achievements, and personal power. But more than direction, gold brings grounding. If you've been feeling scattered, anxious, or drained, the warmth of gold helps anchor you back to self. It also holds emotional steadiness, ideal for those facing change, grief, or major life pivots. Not all gold rings are equal, though. Avoid rings that are too thin or too sharp in shape. These designs can unintentionally disrupt your energy or create a subtle tension you carry throughout the day. Choose a ring with smooth edges, a circular, closed-loop design. Let it feel solid, not heavy, but certain. The beauty of gold is that it doesn't need to announce itself. It simply reminds you who you are and where you're going. The third type is one most people underestimate, the pearl ring. Pearls aren't forged in fire, they are born in water, in stillness. In time, they don't sparkle like diamonds, but they soothe like moonlight. A pearl ring isn't for the show, it's for the soul. It carries a quiet wisdom that's deeply needed in today's world, especially if you're someone who works in high-pressure spaces, who manages people or decisions, or who often absorbs the emotions of others. A pearl doesn't shout, it softens. It doesn't push, it holds. When worn with care, it's like carrying an invisible boundary that lets you stay calm when others rush, stay clear when others doubt, and stay kind when others project. Lighter pearls, ivory, blush, soft gold tend to diffuse energy gently, creating space for fortune to arrive without turbulence. If you find yourself feeling drained after social events, tense after meetings, or anxious before bed, a pearl ring might be the signal your body has been waiting for. But pearls are sensitive. They reflect how you feel. Don't wear them when you're angry, resentful, or overwhelmed. Let them rest when you rest. Clean them gently. Treat them like the companion they are, not fragile, but sacred. A pearl ring isn't about attracting wealth quickly. It's about sustaining it quietly. It's about becoming the kind of person who doesn't just chase prosperity, but holds it with grace when it finally arrives. Together, these three types of rings, gemstone, gold, and pearl, aren't just accessories. They are quiet tools, silent reinforcements, subtle alignments with the life you're trying to create. They don't replace action, planning, or hard work, but they do shape how you feel as you move through all of those things. And that feeling, centered, focused, open, often makes the difference between surviving and thriving. Prosperity isn't always loud. Sometimes it starts in the quiet decision to wear something that reflects your intention. Not for show, not for trend, but for resonance. When the energy you wear begins to match the energy you want, life meets you halfway. You still have to walk, but the path becomes just a little smoother under your feet, and it starts sometimes with something as small as a ring. Part 3-4 ring types that silently drain your luck. Not every ring you wear is working in your favor. Some are neutral, some support you, but others, without you knowing, can pull your energy in the wrong direction. They don't scream, they don't break things instantly, but over time they chip away at clarity, ease, and emotional strength. And that's how luck starts to leak. It doesn't vanish in one big moment, it slips away slowly, until you find yourself wondering why things feel heavier than they should. This isn't about superstition. It's about energy, comfort, and subconscious signals your body picks up long before your brain catches on. If you felt ungrounded lately, if small problems keep repeating, or if good things seem to miss you by an inch, you may want to look at what's on your hand. Let's begin with sharp or pointed rings. These rings often look stylish, edgy, even empowering, but their shape can quietly create a sense of conflict. Sharp edges signal defense, alertness, and separation. They give off an energy of tension both to you and those around you. You may find yourself more easily irritated, more reactive in conversations, or more resistant to change. It's subtle. You might just feel tired after a long day and not know why. But sharp rings, especially those with claw-like prongs or jagged designs, create tiny, ongoing friction with your energy field. And over time, friction builds into fatigue. If your work involves negotiation, caregiving, or creativity, this tension can block your ability to flow, listen, and trust your instincts. You're not too sensitive. You're simply absorbing more than you need to, and your ring may be amplifying that. The second type is oversized gemstone rings. Many people believe the bigger the stone, the more power it holds. But in truth, more isn't always better. Large stones can weigh the hand down physically and energetically. They disrupt the natural circulation of blood and energy in your palm, especially if worn daily. You might notice wrist tightness, mental fog, or a feeling of being off, but unable to explain it. Think of your hands as an energetic doorway. Heavy stones block the doorway. They are beautiful for short occasions or ceremonies, but wearing them constantly can mute your intuition and make you feel sluggish. They also attract more attention than you may want. In some environments, they draw envy, comparison, or even judgment. And while those are other people's emotions, your body still carries the aftershock. If you find yourself exhausted after public events or emotionally drained by too much visibility, a smaller, calmer stone may serve you better. One that strengthens your core without overstimulating your energy field. Next, let's talk about wearing too many rings at once. Style is personal, and expression is important. But from an energetic perspective, each ring carries its own message. When worn together without intention, those messages start to clash. It's like playing 5 songs at once. They might all be good individually, but together they cancel each other out. Too many rings on both hands can scatter your focus. You may feel busy but unproductive, or committed but unsure what to commit to. In conversations, you may struggle to feel heard. In planning, you may struggle to follow through. Your energy becomes diluted, not because you're doing something wrong, but because too many signals are competing for attention. Your body thrives on clarity, so should your adornment. If each ring represents a piece of your story, ask yourself, which story are you trying to tell today? Then choose just one or two that support that specific energy. It's not about restriction, it's about resonance. Lastly, one of the most overlooked but emotionally potent types of rings: heirloom or inherited rings from someone who has passed away. These rings are often worn with love and sentiment, passed down with care. But energy doesn't die when a person does. Objects, especially those worn close to the skin, can hold emotional imprints. Grief, longing, unspoken pain. If the person who wore the ring carried a heavy emotional life or passed during a time of unrest, their energy may still linger in that object. You might feel tired, anxious, or unsettled without understanding why. Or you might notice recurring patterns, relationships that don't heal, goals that don't land. These are not curses, they are echoes, and echoes, when worn daily, can confuse your current energy with someone else's past. This doesn't mean you must let go of those rings, but it does mean you must cleanse them, emotionally, spiritually, or even just symbolically. A short ritual, a quiet thank you, a letting go. You deserve jewelry that supports your future, not just honors your past. The truth is, most people don't talk about how a ring can hold energy. We talk about how it looks, how much it costs, who gave it to us. But very few of us pause to ask, how does it feel? Not on the finger, but in the body. Does it make you feel more yourself or less? Do you feel clearer when you wear it or more cluttered? We've been trained to value the outside, but luck, alignment, and prosperity all start inside. Your jewelry should not just reflect who you were, but who you're becoming. If you've made it this far, chances are you're ready to make more intentional choices, not just in what you wear, but in what you carry. This isn't about being afraid of the wrong ring. It's about understanding how even small things can pull you off course or quietly set you back on track. The rings you remove are just as important as the ones you put on, and sometimes the smallest subtraction leads to the biggest return. Luck doesn't need to be chased. It only needs to be unblocked, and that unblocking might begin right at your fingertips. Part 4: How to wear a ring that welcomes prosperity. A ring can't change your life, but you can. And sometimes it only takes one small, conscious choice to begin that change. The right ring, worn with intention, doesn't just decorate your hand. It anchors your focus. It reminds you to move with clarity. It becomes a quiet bridge between what you hope for and what you're willing to align with. If you're ready to welcome prosperity, not just the idea of it, but the energy that creates it, then it matters how you wear what you wear. Because every object you place close to your body speaks a silent language, and your ring can either whisper encouragement or confuse your signal. The first step is to choose the right type of ring for the season you're in. Not every ring suits every moment of your life. A ring that once helped you take bold action might now feel too intense. A ring you wore during grief might hold emotions you've since outgrown. This doesn't make the ring bad. It just means you've shifted, and your jewelry should shift with you. Ask yourself, what do I need right now? Is it stability, confidence, clarity, lightness? Your answer helps guide the material and design of your ring. Gold tends to ground and stabilize. Soft stones like amethyst soothe the mind. Pearls support emotional composure. Clean, circular shapes help flow. Jagged or heavy designs can block it. Your life changes, your energy changes. Let your ring reflect that. Next, be mindful of where you place your ring. Each finger carries different meaning. The thumb represents authority and willpower. Wearing a ring there supports leadership and boundary setting. The index finger connects to growth and direction. Ideal when you're stepping into something new or trying to call in opportunity. The middle finger anchors discipline and focus. It's where you wear a ring when you need steadiness, both financially and emotionally. The ring finger is tied to love, creativity, and emotional expression, perfect for inviting harmony into relationships. And the pinky finger supports communication and intuition. Wear a ring here when clarity in connection or negotiation is your goal. You don't have to memorize all these meanings. Just choose the finger that intuitively feels right based on what you're facing, and pay attention to how your body responds. Your hand will tell you more than any chart. One of the most overlooked but powerful practices is this: don't wear your ring when your energy is off. When you're upset, anxious, exhausted, or holding resentment, your body releases that energy, and anything you're wearing, especially on your hands, absorbs it. This is why some rings begin to feel heavy after an emotionally intense day. They've picked up too much. Give your ring space to rest. Place it in a soft cloth. Leave it on a wooden dish or near a green plant. Let it breathe. Energy, like water, flows best when it's not trapped. Wearing your ring only when you're calm doesn't mean you're being precious. It means you're being protective, both of the object and of yourself. If you've just bought a new ring, or want to reset the energy of one you already own, you can perform a simple, grounding ritual to cleanse and activate it. No drama, no pressure, just presence. Start by holding the ring gently in your hands and rinsing it in a small bowl of sea salt water. Let it sit for 10 to 15 minutes. Then dry it with a clean, soft cloth. If you don't have sea salt, a bowl of water and silent gratitude is enough. The point is not the ingredients, it's the energy you bring. After it's dry, place the ring somewhere quiet, like by a window with soft light or near a candle, and take a few moments to sit with it. Close your eyes, breathe deeply. Then speak out loud or silently your intention. Something simple like, I welcome financial clarity, or I hold what matters, and I release what no longer serves me. This is how the ring learns its role in your life, not because it's magic, but because your intention has power when spoken with sincerity. You are setting a tone, not casting a spell. Once you begin wearing the ring, choose morning hours if possible, especially before 9 a.m. That's when the body and mind are most receptive, and when you're setting the pace for your entire day. A ring worn early becomes part of your mindset. It reminds you who you are becoming, not just what you've been through. And during the day, whenever you touch the ring, gently, without force, let it be a pause. a soft return to your center, a small reminder that prosperity is not something you chase. It's something you allow, something you sustain by staying aligned with your values, your energy, your deeper truth. The last piece is one people rarely mention. Wearing a ring with presence is more powerful than any symbol or stone. It's not about having the perfect gemstone or metal. It's about remembering why you're wearing it. Every time you slip it on, you are choosing to be more mindful, more honest with yourself, more open to the flow of things that truly serve you. The right ring becomes a companion, a quiet anchor in a loud world, not because of what it cost, but because of what it means to you now. Welcoming prosperity isn't about doing more. It's about doing the right things with care. And sometimes the most powerful shift begins in the smallest of gestures. A single ring worn with clarity, carried through your day with quiet strength, can become more than jewelry. It can become a signal to your body, to your choices, and maybe to the world around you. Sometimes we think big change requires big effort. But what you've just explored is a reminder that the smallest shifts, done with awareness, can open doors we didn't even realize were closed. A ring may seem like a simple object, but it lives on your hands where your energy moves most, where you reach for things, hold people, create, write, pay, sign, wave, and let go. What you place there matters, not because it's mystical, but because it becomes part of your rhythm, your signals, your decisions, your sense of groundedness. We've looked at the cost of wearing the wrong ring, not in superstition, but in energy, how tension builds when something feels just slightly off. We've explored the rings that support your path quietly, not by doing the work for you, but by anchoring the energy you want to live in, calm, focused, open, resilient. We've spoken honestly about the types of rings that drain rather than support, and how to recognize when it's time to let something go. And finally, we've walked through how to wear a ring not just with style, but with intention, with the quiet confidence of someone who is ready to welcome prosperity, not chase it. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being present, being thoughtful about what you wear, about why it's there, about what it represents to you now, not 5 years ago, not one relationship ago, but today, in this season, in this version of you that is still unfolding. So thank you for giving yourself this time, for being open, for listening not just to me, but to the signals your body has probably been whispering for a while now. I hope this video gave you more than just ideas. I hope it gave you a feeling, a sense of clarity, a new kind of awareness that's both gentle and empowering. Whatever you're carrying today, I hope it feels a little lighter now. And whatever you choose to wear tomorrow, may it reflect not only where you've been, but where you're ready to go. Take good care of yourself. You deserve it. And your energy deserves to move freely, confidently, and in alignment with all that is good. Until next time, thank you for being here. And may every small choice you make lead you quietly into more peace, more purpose, and more prosperity.